everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Dr Amel from City Skin Clinic. Today I thought we could have a little chat about liquid exfoliants because I think this is a really exciting bit of skincare. A lot of us are a lot more aware about what kind of skincare products are available and what kind of really good ingredients can make a difference to your skincare if you just use them regularly as part of your skincare routine. Liquid exfoliants, and these are largely, most people think of acid exfoliants, are becoming really much more widely available, and there's a lot of excitement over them. The only thing that is a problem is it's almost overwhelming how much variety there is and how many different products are available. So this is something that I discuss with my patients in the clinic a lot, and I thought it would be worth sharing with you guys. Before I continue, if you're new to us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and you can catch up with our content 3 days a week. If you're returning, welcome back. So before I start, what are liquid exfoliants? Well, what I'm going to talk about are mainly acid exfoliants, and within that category, alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. And also I will briefly mention enzyme exfoliants because I think they get a little bit of a kind of looked over when we talk about them. And the aim of this video is really to kind of just explain, dispel some myths and explain just what these do and help you kind of decide which of these might be better for you. So acid exfoliants and enzymes as well, they work by kind of disconnecting the glue that holds together dead skin cells. So we know that with our skin, the top layers are largely made up of dead skin cells, and sometimes if that builds up, you can get the appearance of dull, dry, flaking skin. You can also have kind of a dull complexion. You might also get clogged up pores. So exfoliants are aimed at removing some of these dead layers of skin so that you can kind of see some of the newer skin underneath, but they also have other benefits in terms of unclogging pores. Some might help with oil regulation, and even help with fine lines and wrinkles and hyperpigmentation. Now, liquid exfoliants are a whole different kind of bag from physical exfoliants. So these you might think of as sort of the peach shell scrubs, that kind of physical product that goes in, it kind of polishes the skin. Those are actually a lot of the time not that great, particularly for skin on your face, because they can cause micro tears in the skin that you can't see, but eventually lead to things like scarring, hyperpigmentation, and your skin to kind of just look worse. So acid exfoliants, and the type that are safe to use at home in the form of toners, some come as face masks, those have acids in them, and these acids will kind of remove the dead cells, but they're gentle enough and a low enough concentration not to cause damage. Remember, this isn't the same as using a professional chemical peel. Chemical peels do the same thing with acids, but they are much stronger and they go deeper, and that's why those have to be done in a clinic, whereas at home acid exfoliants are gentle enough to be used regularly, several days a week, sometimes once a day. So acid exfoliants come in two types. So well, there are several, there are 3 types, and I will talk about BHAs in another video because they're quite special, and I don't think enough people know about them and why they might be beneficial. But alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids are the 2 commonest forms of liquid exfoliants and acid exfoliants. Alpha hydroxy acids are made from sugars, and often fruit sugar. So you've got in that group things like glycolic acid, which is made from sugar cane, You've got things like lactic acid, which is from milk. You have a citric acid, you have malic acid and mandelic acid and tartaric acid, and these are just some of the most commonly known ones. All of these fall in the umbrella of alpha hydroxy acids, and in terms of alpha hydroxy acids, or AHAs as they're also known, these are water soluble. They penetrate the skin, and like I said, they disrupt those connections. They unglue the old dead cells and remove them. And they work really nicely if you are someone who's looking at, so treating dry skin, lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, and skin texture. They are largely water dissolvable, with the exception that citric and mandelic and malic acid can also penetrate oil, but as a general rule, the main alpha hydroxy acids, and by that it's usually the ones you'll come across mostly, are glycolic acid, lactic acid as well, and sometimes mandelic acid. And so really you're using them in skin that's normal or dry. That's kind of their best use. And I will do another video explaining the different types of alpha hydroxy acids and which ones will be best for you, but this video is really to give you an overview of which type of liquid exfoliants are available and what might be best. So alpha hydroxy acids, as a general rule, normal to dry skin if you're looking at improving texture, anti-aging effects. Also, some alpha hydroxy acids can help, not all of them, but with stimulating natural moisturizing factors in the skin, and so hydrating the skin. Beta hydroxy acids, on the other hand, so these are, it's largely the most famous and most commonly used one is salicylic acid, and these are usually found in things like willow bark. And they're actually, these acids, they dissolve in oil, they penetrate oil, and so they are fantastic if you're someone with oily skin and clogged pores. So they can get into the pores and unclog them, and they can dissolve kind of the glue between dead cells, just like alpha hydroxy acids do, and resurface the skin, so exfoliate it. The other thing that they can do, particularly salicylic acid, is regulate oil production. So if you have really oily skin or acne prone skin and you want to reduce that, then beta hydroxy acids can do that. And salicylic acid particularly has anti-inflammatory properties, so that's why it's used a lot in acne. So if you're someone who's looking for an exfoliating acid and you have acne prone skin, then salicylic acid is likely to be the beta hydroxy acid for you. If you have just oily skin and you're looking for something to regulate oil production, but also have the effect of alpha hydroxy acids in terms of smoothing the skin, evening out skin tone, treating hyperpigmentation, fine lines and wrinkles, then salicylic acid and beta hydroxy acids will do that for you as well. And then last but not least in this in the kind of the world of liquid exfoliants is enzyme exfoliants. So enzymes are kind of substances that are found in all living organisms. They're what kind of helps us make things. They regulate the cell processes, they regulate what our bodies can make, you know, our physiology, how we kind of function. So enzymes are really useful. I like to think of them as little workers in terms of how just living organisms sort themselves out and function. They're essential. They speed up. So you know, they're catalysts. They speed up reactions. So they have so many purposes in living organisms, and they are also temperature dependent. So a lot of the way enzyme exfoliants work on the skin is by, again, disconnecting that glue between dead cells and resurfacing the skin. And they can also do things like brighten the skin, make it smoother, even out skin tone. Enzyme peels are particularly good if you're someone whose skin can't tolerate the effects of acids. So if you're prone to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, if you're someone whose skin is really sensitive, then enzyme peels may work for you. They are a gentler solution. They're often the most common enzymes we will see for skin care products will be papain, which is from papaya, or bromelain from pineapple. So those are really, really great enzyme exfoliants for the skin. The difference between both acid exfoliants and enzymes is, one of the main things, enzyme peels tend to be found as masks. So usually face masks, they're products that you leave on and then remove. Acid exfoliants can be found in a whole array of products, and often leave-in ones. So I would say the most effective way to use them is in things like toners, or serums, where you put the product and you leave it on, and they're, as I said, in a concentration that's low enough and gentle enough to do that to the skin. I don't really think there's a lot of effectiveness in using them in cleansers, because usually you put a cleanser on for a short time and wash it off. So I would say your best bet for acid exfoliants is to use them in toners or serums. Another way that they're great is they can be used in face masks as well, so they come as face masks, whereas with enzyme peels they're almost always usually in face masks or in cleansers, basically products that you need to wash off. So how you use them depends on what your skin likes and how sensitive it is, and how much of a gentle or not so gentle product you need, but also how you want. Do you want a leave-in product? Do you want something that you will wash off straight after? Remember, especially if this is your journey just beginning into skincare, you need to be really careful with what you put on your skin. So all of these exfoliants, they're great. They're widely available. There are so many different products, so many different price points, and really you can delve in relatively easily, but do some things to protect yourself. So one, if you're starting any new skincare product, do a patch test. So that's a bit of the skin, place it in somewhere like sort of the crease of the elbow, or where your collarbone is, somewhere that you'll be able to see, and just to see if there is a bad kind of reaction, whether you get redness, whether you get wheals, signs of an allergy, and if you are allergic, you should seek medical help. And this is not scaremongering, but it's just sensible stuff that you should do. In the same way, if you dye your hair, you should do a patch test on your skin to make sure you're not allergic. This is the same for skincare. And the other thing to remember is make sure that you start low. So even with reputable, safe brands, they will have different strength. Always start with the lowest strength and take your time to work your way up. And if you're new to acid and enzyme exfoliants, start off on something like once a week and make sure that your skin can handle it before you increase the frequency. Just because you can use something every day doesn't mean you should. And finally, there is, with skincare, I talk a lot about layering, I talk a lot about mixing and matching different products, and that's no different. You can mix and match and use more than one type of exfoliant, either in the same area or in different parts of the face, but only do that once you've gained comfort and your skin is used to using one type. So if you want to combine, which is quite common to do, a BHA, beta hydroxy acid, and an alpha hydroxy acid, start with the one that you need most. Be comfortable in that before you introduce a second product. It's the same if you've just started using vitamin C serum. Don't rush to then add something like a liquid exfoliant. Make sure your skin is used to the vitamin C serum or anything else that can be irritating before you step up your skincare routine to the next one. Remember, you have your skin for all your life. It really pays to treat it well and to treat it gently. And for sure, if you are, you should be wearing SPF anyway, but if you're someone who's also starting on acid exfoliants or any type of exfoliants, it's really important to protect your skin, especially because it'll be a lot more vulnerable to, you're exposing kind of dead layers of skin and you're exposing newer skin underneath. And so you really should be even more careful with your skin and making sure that you wear sunscreen during the day. If you have any questions at all about liquid exfoliants, I'm going to leave some useful links below to our website, but please leave me a comment, and if you have any skincare tips or products you want to share or experiences, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out the rest of our videos related to skincare and also professional aesthetic treatments. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And give this video a thumbs up. Until next time.